What I really want to talk to you about, though, is part of what we did when we first did Tax Cuts and Jobs Act was something called Opportunity Zones. And I'm going to invite you to come to Erie, Pennsylvania. Erie, Pennsylvania was at one time a thriving city that fell on very, very hard times. But when we did the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act with the Opportunity Zones, this encouraged private investment, not taxpayer dollars, but private investment going into areas where the government would have wasted its money, and does oftentimes, but say to private investors, you know what? Using the tax code, we're going to give you an opportunity to invest in something while other people would usually walk away from it. I got to tell you, in Erie, under the leadership of key stakeholders and local leaders such as the Erie Downtown Development Corporation and the strategy of Erie Refocus Plan, the city committed itself to a goal of revitalizing its downtown waterfront while building on its industrial heritage. Using opportunity zones as a catalyst, Erie has leveraged more than $40 million in private investment. This investment created 110 new residential units, revitalized more than 100,000 square feet of commercial space, restored 8 historic properties, and brought a grocery store to a neighborhood previously designated as a food desert. One of the things I wanted to talk about, because under this new plan, we decided, hey, you know what? We did some great jobs when it came to cities. Let's look at rural areas. So what I'm going to ask you to do, if you would, please come to Erie, where you can see how these things worked in living color to real people in real time. How we're revitalizing a community. The job you've done is incredible, by the way. The only thing I question, what keeps you getting up in the morning and come into things like this when you know all that work that you do, all that time that you spend, all your staff works to make it better for the American people? The hell with this idea of it being a Republican idea or a Democrat idea. Why don't we just look like what's best for America?
Well, the representative, first of all, I have heard that Erie is a poster child in a great way for opportunity zones. So I look forward to coming and visit, and I look forward to visiting the rural areas in your district. And also, as I said earlier, many representatives, senators from the other side of the aisle have called me to ask for guidance on opportunity zones. I pointed out that they voted against them, but that is why I come in, to help the American people. We can overcome partisan differences, that they voted against them. It is in statute now, and we will make it work for all the American people.
You know what, and I appreciate that, so we'll get with it, because I have 2 friends in the Senate right now that represent Pennsylvania. They are sometimes would have been described as polar opposites. They're not. So between Senator Fetterman and Senator McCormick, we have 2 people in the Senate now working together to do the best things that they can do for the state they represent and the nation that they work for. I think if we could twist things around, and unfortunately elections get in the way of us doing things that are actually beneficial to the American people. We tend to work on a party spectrum rather than the people we represent. As I said, I represent 750,000 people. None of them are. It's not an all red, it's not all blue, and in fact what discourages me is too many of our people who live in the area no longer have faith, and they don't even register to vote. But please, we're going to invite you, we're going to invite Senator Fetterman, Senator McCormick, we will get people there to sit down with you. There is such a wealth of opportunity taking place right now. The figures don't lie. Sometimes the liars can figure, but figures don't lie. Thank you for doing what you're doing in your private life, to walk away from that, to walk into this. When they first described it as a swamp, they had no idea how deep the swamp has become. Thank you for being here today, and thank you for your dedication to the United States of America.